Hey YouTube, it's Mike Pengangster here, and today I'm going to bring you guys a little something special, something that's been waiting for a very long time. I'm playing Aa9skillz on his pro account, basically his PS5 account, in the Ultimate Team, in the FUT Champ Ultimate Team. That's because that's his name. So to make sure while I matched up to him, I right away went to look at his squad to make sure it was him, because I know that he streams on Twitch, so I knew he was streaming on Twitch. I went right away and I paused the game and I went on Twitch to see if it was him, and if it was him, so it was him. So I was like, oh, nice. I finally get my chance to play him again. Now, the reason why I wanted to play him so badly is because a couple of years ago, if you guys remember on my channel, I made a video where it was Pengangster versus Aa9skillz, and he ends up beating me. I think he beats me by 1 goal. I can't remember. It was a bit of a high-scoring game. I think it was like 4-3 or 5-4, something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but he beat me by 1 goal. I can remember that. And anyways, Exception made a video of my gameplay versus him, and he only put the first half. I guess Exception didn't like the way I was talking in the video, because I was a bit frustrated with the gameplay, saying that there's certain things happening inside the game that didn't feel natural to me sometimes. Like I wouldn't want to go as far as saying it was handicapped, but the RNG was not in my favor. That's what I was trying to explain to Exception when he was making my video, when he basically was doing the video of me playing versus Aa9skillz. So anyways, after that, I tried a few times going on Skillz Twitch and just asking in the chat. I mean, some people recognized me by my name, you know, Mike Pengangster, some didn't. And a few times throughout the years, I would go on his channel and just say, hey, Skillz, want to play me? And I would never get a response. Not a single time. You know what I mean? I won't lie. I did try a few times to enter a match while he was streaming. So I figured maybe I'll get a shot one day of playing him like that. This time, I didn't even know at the moment that he was playing. I was just playing my weekend league, and I ended up getting matched up. So right away, I went, like I said, to Twitch to find out if it was him, because I wanted to see if he was streaming, so I could basically clarify if I was playing Aa9skillz. So I was. So anyways, as you can see, he does a mistake over here. Now, apparently, during this game, he's watching some sort of game on TV. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be excuses that he wasn't fully concentrated on the game. To be honest with you, I don't care if he was concentrated or nothing. I got distractions myself. I got a 7-year-old kid. And I'm sure a lot of people that play Weekend League got kids, and they have distractions, right? We have TVs too. We watch things too while we're playing sometimes. We listen to music. We talk to people. So all the excuses that he could come out with, hey, buddy, I got them too on my side. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I will take credit for my win, because I felt like I deserved it. Sorry for the spoiler. I do beat him in this game. It's only the second time I ever faced him. So, I mean, I don't know, we're 1-1, I guess. So it just feels good to finally be able to play him, because, like I said, it's been such a long time that I've been willing to want to play with. And the biggest reason why I wanted to play him is because I wanted to make a point, okay? Because going back to the first time I played him, again, at that point there, he was the guy that was getting 40-0s, and I was finishing gold 1, because I was getting bad gameplay constantly on Weekend League, and I wasn't able to ever hit the elite ever again, okay? At that point, I remember playing him, I was at the best I would get gold 1, or I would miss elite by 1 win. I just couldn't, and I would always complain about gameplay. And this is why I want to show you guys, when you play a pro player, okay, there's not that much of a difference. And I always said it. I played many of them throughout my life playing FIFA, and I've always noticed I was always able to compete no matter who was behind the controller. Of course, if I constantly play versus pro players, I would lose, because I am not a pro player and I don't abuse the game at that level. I'm not consistency enough like these guys. But when you put your motivation into a game, when you're knowing you're playing versus somebody, the try hard comes out, and that's what came out in this game. I really wanted to beat him, so I made sure that I was on my game and focused, and played one, I would say maybe not the best game I played in my life, but you know, a good solid game that will give me a chance to beat him. And that's all I really wanted, right? So anyways, like I tell people sometimes, don't be fooled just because when you watch these pro events or these pro players play with their god squads and automatically, oh, they're amazing, all that. Guys, this year I got lucky. This year I got my pulls. This year I'm able to compete versus these guys because now I have a team that's solid to be able to compete and not go into a division rival game or whatever, FUT champion game, and get myself basically get slaughtered by their $20 million teams, right? I don't have a $20 million team. I have like a $5 million coin team, but still, just to give you an example, I have a competitive team right now. So you don't really need a 5 million coin team to beat somebody, but it's nice to have a team that's solid, right? And that's why the pros like to play with these heavy teams, because they know that having particular players in particular spots. Now in this game here, he's playing with his R9, he's playing with his Salah, he's playing with his Mbappe, he's playing with a lot of the key players, but he's also trying a few players in his team I've noticed. This is where I scored a second goal with Neymar, and I got to do my CR7 celebration just to let him know I'm watching. Yeah, so he's trying out a few players. I know that the first goal he scores already Insigne there with that player SBC Insigne, you know. He's also has a couple other people. I know that I mentioned in the second half, I think he subs in Alphonso Davis, rule breaker. So he is trying a few different cards. Yeah, and, you know, I know he's on stream. I know he's just having a little bit of fun. He's probably not in his A game, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure he's still trying. At this point, while I was watching the stream, I knew that he was undefeated or he had one loss or something like that. I'm not sure, something like that. Anyways, that's besides the point. The point is that the point, at least what I'm trying to do is what I'm trying to make is that that when you play these top players, they're beatable. You know, this is why sometimes I had the controversy of like certain people. I would call them out and call their bullshit. For example, like when #Ari used to beat divisions with a bronze team, you know, like Division 1, and I used to be like, yeah, okay, bronze team. I would be like, come and play me with a bronze. Come and play me versus my Division 1 player with your bronze team. We'll see how many games you're gonna win. You know what I mean? Oh, you'll win maybe 1 or 2 games because if we play 10, you're a pro player, so eventually you'll beat me, right? But I could guarantee you that, you know, I'll even put up the challenge there if #Ari would ever want to play with his bronze team versus my team, you know, versus basically my division team, right? And I'm pretty sure he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win many games, and if we play 10 games, okay. And this is why sometimes I would be like, yeah, okay, the guy is playing with a bronze team in Division 1. Like, who the fuck are you playing? You know, this is why I used to always complain about FUT champions not being the matchmaking being bullshit. When you watch people go 40-0, you know, 160-0, or whatever the fuck they were going, and then they go into the what's it called? Not qualification. They go into these pro events, and you know they're 50-50 most of the time, or maybe one guy, the guy that wins it all, is like winning 70% of his games, you know, but everybody's losing, and you could clearly see it this year that the division rivals is here. I got a little bit lucky. You see what I mean? In the division rivals, you can see the difference this year that these pro players are having, because now they're competing at the elite level, and they're losing games because now they're playing against each other. And this is the way it should have always been, okay? It should have always been the top player playing versus the top player to know who's the top player. Not people qualifying throughout weekend league, getting 40-0s versus gold 3, gold 2 players or silver players sometimes, and they will get like out of 40 games maybe match up like 10 games between gold 1 and elite 2. It's stupid. The matchmaking was stupid, and I still believe the matchmaking is stupid in FUT Champs, but it's more casual. So I like the way FUT Champs is, because as you can see, I could face Aa9skillz, I could face maybe a weaker opponent, but at the end of the day, as you can see, when I play weekend league, I play for 8. I play for 8 wins. Okay. This year I got 12 wins once, and I stopped like 5 times at 8 wins. And the reason why I stopped at 8 wins is also because I have a second account, and my second account I have a very shitty team, shitty team, like a 200k team. And the reason why I have a 200k team on my second account is because I got so lucky on my first account, my main account basically, that I didn't want to play with it, because I was like, well, what's the point now? I already have a massive team. I kind of want to go play with weaker players. It sounds fucking weird, but that's the honest truth. So that's why I have a second account. So on the second account too, I go and play up to 8 wins and have a little bit of fun over there, because I'd rather have 2 accounts and play 8-8, which I know is way easier to achieve and less frustrating in a way of saying, less like stressing, than going for 12 or even trying maybe 16. I personally don't believe I could get 16, honestly, and I wouldn't say based on my skill that I wouldn't be able to hit it. I think it's just really the gameplay. Most games that I play when it comes to weekend league, the game feels kind of soft, kind of like mudded. Like even this game here, if you see a few times, it's happening even with Aa9skillz. You could see it, the frustration and some of the balls, the way the ball's bouncing, or the way his players are not doing exactly what he wanted. And the same thing is happening with me sometimes. I'm just not getting the correct response of the game. And this is why when people ask me like, is this guy any good? I'm pretty sure I've been asked, people wonder, like, this guy makes formation tactics or instructions and stuff like that. Like, are his tactics good enough? Guys, I've been playing the game long enough to understand how custom tactics work. At the end of the day, when I make a video about custom tactics, in this particular game here, I went with my 4-2-3-1 tactics that I haven't revealed those ones yet, but I revealed the 4-2-2-2 and the 4-4-2-1. Those are tactics that I use to get me back into games and stuff like that. And the 4-2-3-1 is basically to make sure that my opponent has the hardest time in his life to put a goal behind my net. So this is more of a defensive tactic. Now, the reason why I didn't reveal this one, because I don't want to reveal tactics that are more like defensively minded, because if not, after everybody and their moms play like this. So as you can see, the only reason why I'm using this strategy versus Aa9skillz is because, first of all, he's got a very good team, and I know he's considered a pro player. So I gotta play a certain, like, this is why sometimes they say when they are in the higher elite divisions, these guys, they play a different formation, and most of the time it's the 4-2-3-1 that they play, and they play with certain tactics that basically is very defensively versus that person. Now, I still play with high depth. My tactics still have 60 depth on them. It's just the way you put the instructions on your players that make the difference, and it's how you use your second man press. As you notice throughout the game, I'm using second man press a lot. That's why there's a lot of block shots and stuff like that. And I also always use driven passes that I'm recommending people learn how to driven pass all the time. It's the way you have to pass the ball in this game. It's the best way. Forget about trying to do these little cheeky skill moves. They're worth shit in this game. Just go for the correct driven passes. Make sure you're using your L1s and R1s to either make your players run or make your players come to you. I also use, for example, possession. I play on possession, because when you play on possession, you could still activate runs. The only difference is that when you play on possession, most of your players that are running and you're looking for that man to come short, they come short, and it makes a huge difference in certain scenarios. So that's why I use it. I rather trigger my runs by myself, like over here. Unfortunately, here towards the end of the game, I had a few chances to just end the game, but for some reason I kept choking. I just didn't want to go in. I don't know. You're gonna see there's even another chance I gotta get later on with Neymar, where I'm just gonna choke it again. I don't think I choked. I think I don't know why Neymar goes for a header when he could have easily just went for a volley, but that's besides the point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes when you play this game, there are certain things that happen that sometimes it's not your intention, but the game just does that sometimes, and it's very frustrating. And that's why I complain a lot about scripting or handicap or bad servers and so on, because it's very, very true that these things are happening throughout people's games. And sometimes every game is happening to some people. I'm lucky enough that it doesn't happen to me like in every game. Like, for example, when I play during the week, I'm able to compete in division rivals. Why? Because I play like on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is playable for me. Weekend league, it depends. It really depends. Like yesterday, I only played 5 games. I went 4-1. I lost my last game, and I stopped playing. Once I lost, I stopped because I already knew what was coming. Right? If I were to continue playing, guaranteed I would have lost 2-3 games in a row. Why? Because the game just started to feel muddy. Once the game starts feeling muddy, I mean, there's people that come out with different strategies. Say, oh, restart your PlayStation, restart your game, do whatever to do, But I've tried all these things. None seem to work. Once the muddy gameplay starts, it's pretty much over. So at that point there, I've noticed that the best thing to do when that starts to happen is just basically log off and come back tomorrow and play tomorrow. I know if it's the last day, when it's Sunday, it's different. You would have to come back later on that day and try to finish them if you really want to finish your games. And this is why, again, I like to finish with 8 wins, because 8 wins is just, it's quick, it's easier, it's less stressful. Games that I feel, for example, where my players are just not advancing, or the game just feels completely shit, well, I just leave. Like last week, I finished with 8 wins. I think I left like 6 games, 5 or 6 games that I just left when my opponent would score the first goal. I would just leave, and sometimes I was like 20 minutes in. It's like, no, okay, whatever, I don't need it. I will go to the next game, because all I really needed was 8 wins. So it's like, okay, who cares? Like it's not like I'm pushing for anything else. So it's like, oh, I don't need this game. It feels shit. Let me go to the next one. And this is why I recommend people thinking this way sometimes. Forget about trying to prove like how good you are to yourself in this game, and forcing yourself playing versus this bad gameplay sometimes. Like be happy with I look at it. This is the way I look at it. When I play Weekend League, as long as I get 8 wins, I am satisfied. If I'm getting good enough gameplay to be able to push for a little bit more, I'll go for the 12 wins. This weekend, after this game, I'm 9-2, so I'll push for 12 wins. But again, like, I may go to my next game, and next game feels like shit. I may lose it. Who knows? But if I have like a couple shit games in a row like that, well, I'll just end it there and say, fuck it, I got my 8. I don't need 12. You know what I mean? And that's the way I think people should look at this game sometimes. Anyways, they didn't want to make the video longer than it was supposed to be, because basically I wanted to show you the game versus Aa9skillz. So I know some people are interested in stuff like this. I'm satisfied with the win. I felt I played well, and I deserve the win. That's the way I see it. Let me know what you guys thought about the game. As you can see, I'm 9-2 at the moment, and yeah, we're gonna try to go for 12. And once I get to 12, I'm gonna just give away my wins and make sure I get my rewards and open up my red picks. And of course, guys, what do you think is gonna happen? I'm gonna pull fucking Mbappe. I'm the fucking king of pulls this year. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want to know my 4-2-3-1 tactics. If you guys really want to know them, I'll make a video on it. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.